CB 101. What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's training. We're going to talk about how to make your first dollar online, or if you're already have made your first dollar online with chatbots, we're going to talk about how to make your next one. So welcome to the training. And we haven't done a video specifically for the group here in a long time. So if you want to make sure that if you would like us to do more live videos specifically for the group here, just comment with a yes and let us know. And we'll do that for you. And of course, if you're here on the replay crew, just let me know, comment, hashtag replay, because those people are the real warriors of this group and make this thing go. So today we're going to talk about how to get and make your first dollar online with messenger marketing and through chatbots. And we're going to talk about how to do that even if you're brand new, right? We're going to talk about it if you've already have a service or have a product, and we're going to talk about how to implement it into chatbots. Or we're also going to talk about if you are brand new and you have nowhere to begin, or you don't have a product, you don't have a service, we're also going to talk about how you can start making money right away, even if that's you. So if you guys are here, let me know who's tuning in. We're going to get this shared out in all the right places. So I want to make sure that we are able to impact as many people as we can here in CB 101. We are close to 4,000 people. And so if you are one of the brand new people who are here in this group, I just want to say welcome to you guys. We are so excited to have you. Our group and our mission really here, is to help at least 1,000. So right now there's about 4,000 of you, but we know not everybody is going to participate. But our goal is to help 1,000 digital marketers create the life and the business that they love. And we're going to do that through the trainings that we offer here. And we also have some tools that Millennial Skills offers to make this possibility even more of a reality for you. So anywho, let's dive in. I filibuster for about a minute or two every time we get started, because I want to make sure that we have some people on. So Rachel, welcome. Who else is out there? Nikos, what's up? Josh, Chris, thanks guys for hopping on. I appreciate all the love and the support. The likes and the loves, guys, they always mean a lot. Of course you can get into our accelerator program, and of course you can buy our products and our softwares. But the biggest thing that you can do is pay with your your thumbs and to pay with your likes and your loves. So let's talk about, we're going to get into how to actually create your first dollar online. And we're going to talk about everything that you need to do. So let's get into it. And I'm curious for you guys, John Baker, what's up, my man? Dan, what's going on? We're going to talk about how to get started, but I'm curious for you guys, do you guys sell? Okay. Do you guys sell a product? Right? You gotta figure out which one of these boats are you in, right? Do you sell a product? All right. Do you sell a service? Okay. Or do you sell, or we're gonna have in this other group, right? Which is, we're gonna call it OPP or OPS, right? And what I mean by that is OPP is not the naughty by nature OPP that you may have heard about in the early 90s, okay? OPP is other people's products, right? Other people's products. And OPS is other people's services. And so you could fall into one of these three areas. So let me know, are you in P, are you in S, or are you in OPP or OPS, right? Because what that means is this over here is what we would call like affiliate, okay? This is what we call an affiliate. And this is a really big and great opportunity for those people who don't have their own product or don't have their own service. You see, for a really long time, I sold other people's products, and I was in this affiliate part for about the first 7 years of my entrepreneurial career. Before I started designing my own services and before I started creating my own products, I actually started out selling other people's products. And I actually started out offering other people's services as a way to kind of learn and get started. And then I was able to branch out and kind of do it on my own. And so there's no right place, but for you guys, I'm curious, which one are you in, PS or OPP or OPS, right? Like for example, I think about someone like John Baker, who's on, right, and who's watching, right? He's kind of in the middle right here. I would be curious to where he would consider himself, right? because he actually offers a product, right? He actually sells a product. He actually sells, physical products directly. He also sells a service, and the fact that he offers, opportunities and jobs and provides the service to his team. But then he's also he's selling other people's products and other people's services as well. And so I'm just curious, for you guys, where you guys land. Are you guys in the P? Are you guys in the S or the OPP or the OPS? Let me know, because I think each of them have their own route. And if you identify which route that you have, or which route that you're on, it makes it a little bit easier. So let's go through and let's say, okay, no matter what though, the first thing is that no matter what we've got right here, okay, I'll tell you that the first thing is we've got to get people's attention. Okay, so no matter if we're selling a product, no matter if we're selling a service, no matter what we're selling, okay, we've got to get their attention. And what does that mean, right? What do I mean by that? Well, we've got to find a way to stand out to them. We've got to find a way to be able to just kind of get into their realm, right? Like we've got to get into their ecosphere. You ever see those people flipping signs, and I think Liberty Tax does a great job of this around tax time with the Statue of Liberty people who are standing on the side of the road, spinning and flipping signs. Now, they do an amazing job of getting attention. I'm not saying that they do a good job with the rest of their kind of sequencing and their messaging and their marketing, because this is just the first step. But they do a very good job of getting your attention. I always see those people and I always pay attention, right? Like, let me know if you guys ever just notice those people a lot, right? Like they get your attention. So at a certain point, it is, and it can be about standing up on the side of a corner and waving around and acting a fool to kind of get people to notice you. I think if the internet shut down and there was no way for me to be able to do Facebook Lives anymore, or I couldn't leverage the internet, at a certain point, I probably would go outside, stand up, and if I had a microphone, I'd use a microphone. If I had a bullhorn, I'd use a bullhorn. I would find a way to leverage my ability to talk to be able to get people to notice, right? So my point is that the first step in anything is attention. So what are ways that we can do that, right? Here are some kind of easy ways for you to be able to get attention that a lot of people are doing. Let's start with the easy ones, okay? So you could run Facebook ads, right? That's one way to get attention, okay? You could also, what could you do? You could also, you could run Instagram ads, right? What else could you do? You could start a Facebook group, right? What else? So these are the basic ones, right? How else are people getting your attention, right? You could do a YouTube channel, right? You could do a YouTube channel, right? These are all of the normal ones that people are talking about, right? You could also do, you could do emailing, right? What else can you do, right? You could do cold emailing, right? You could do cold email, right? So these are ways that you can get in touch with these people, right? But essentially it starts with attention. You can do LinkedIn. What else can you do? What else? I mean, for me, where my brain starts to go is you could do things like Twitch, right? Or you could do things like Reddit. And it's not necessarily fringe, right? But you could do things like Pinterest, right? Or you could do things like Medium, or you could do things like what else? What else is out there? You could do I don't know. What else? I'm curious for you guys. What else do you guys do? So you could do Twitter, right? Twitter is an easy, and I don't want to say an easy one, but it's a very low barrier to entry where you can get people's attention, right, just by tweeting at them, right? Also another one, right, that I can recommend is podcasts, right? This is another one, okay? We also, we could do Google ads, right? So all of these ways to be able to get attention, right? So for you, I would say like pick which one, and it doesn't even have to be Instagram ads. It could be just Instagram, right? We also could put over here, I'm not even going to put Facebook ads. I'm just going to put Facebook because you could also use your personal profile, right? So there's all these ways to get attention, right? The point is, which ones are you using? The crazy thing for me is, I'll share with you, I spent probably close to 50, maybe even definitely over $50,000 in direct mail in my lifetime, probably close to $100,000 in direct mail. And I look back at that and I want to cry. I really want to cry. I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? What was I thinking? Spending all of that money on literally pieces of paper that get sent to someone's mailbox. Like, oh, and like I did this in 2014, 2015, and 2016. So it's not like I was doing this like not in the internet. It was just before social media became this, before the internet really coalesced and before the tipping point had happened for businesses to realize that they should be utilizing these other platforms. So Daryl, what's going on, guys? If you guys are hopping on right now, we're talking about the first ways to make your next dollar on online, and specifically with messenger marketing. So the first thing that we want to get is people's attention, right? So before we can start selling anybody anything, we got to figure out, how do we get their attention, right? How do we actually get in front of them, and so that they'll want to see our message. Now, I'm going to take a kind of a counterintuitive point here. Okay. So I'm going to go down here. Oh, that doesn't look good. That's not what I wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the next thing is, a lot of people start to sell right here. They get their attention and they go sell, right? Like, you know what? Who's the worst at this? Radio, car dealerships that use radio ads are the worst people at this stuff. And I'll tell you what I mean, right? Like, sometimes I have to literally, if I'm in a car that doesn't have, Bluetooth or can't hook up to my phone for whatever reason, I literally will have to turn off the radio to not hear some of these ads, because I literally can't listen to them because they're just yelling sales messages at me. And I'm very sensitive to what I put into my brain. And so like, I can't do it. And so they're like 0% off, $500 down, two tires, a rim, a top. It gives you we'll give you even a air freight. Like, they start selling. And the challenge is that I'm not ready to be sold to. So after you get their attention, here's what I'm going to do with you. Okay. I'm going to help you to relate, right? I want to ask you to relate to them. Okay. Big kind of contradiction here. Okay. And once again, Mark, Ken, guys, Tom, Jodine, welcome, guys. If this is valuable, I'm going to beg for some engagement. You guys can always pay with your thumbs and the likes and the loves, just so it lets the good old Zucks and the good old Google, the Mr. Ghoul, lets them know that this is good stuff. So anyways, just as a minor plug for your thumbs. But what I was saying is that too many people, they start to sell here, and what that does is that turns off your clients. And like, literally think about how that's happening at a grander scale. Think about, if you're doing that, are you literally making people turn off your sales messaging like I'm turning off the radio ad? Right? Like, are people doing that for your sales messaging? That happens on the same level with your messaging, with your marketing, right? So similarly, before you start selling, the number one thing is to relate to them. Okay. And let me give you some ideas on what you can relate to them about. Okay. Some big things that you want to relate to them with. And so the number one thing that you can relate to them on, and the easiest, I can't actually say the easiest thing, but the first thing that comes to mind is their desires, okay? You can relate to them on their desires. So if you know what they want, right? If you know what they want, then they're going to listen to you, right? So I know that a lot of you guys want to make money online. That's why I titled the talk, right? Like how to make your first dollar or your next dollar online, right? Like, I know that you want to make money online. I also know, I know that making money is a big part of it. I don't like the fact that I talk a lot about making money. It's kind of like, to me, inside, it's not. And the only thing is, like, I just don't want people to think that all we're trying to do is help people, like that's all about making money, right? What it is, to remind you guys, is our mission here is to help 1,000 digital marketers build the life and the business that they love. But we know that to do that, in order to do that, you're going to need money. You're going to need the resources in order to be able to make that happen. So we want to help you to be able to do that. And we want to be able to give you the tools and the resources and the strategies, more importantly, and the tools to be able to make that happen. So for me, like, let me know if that's something that you guys are on a mission for. Let me know, right? Like give me thumbs up, like Josh did, and Arthur, because that's really the first thing that you've got to do is in your messaging, you've got to show them that you know what they want, right? And you've got to show them that not only that you have gotten there, right? Like it's not only important to show them that you've done it, right? And it's like, yes, I've made, I was redoing my taxes the other day, and we in top line revenue, right? We did over 5 million in sales from 2014 to 2016. And over those years, our gross profit was gross, okay? Gross, okay? Was like, I don't know, like $800,000, right? Because we were selling, physical products, and the margins were like super low. But my point is that, like, I've done that, right? And it's been great, right? But it doesn't matter about if I can do it. Like, what's important is can I help you to do it, right? So that's the next part, is don't always worry about being the star of the show, right? I think that's a very important thing that I got wrong early on in my career, was like, I thought that it had to be about me. And it's like, I wanted to be the Luke Skywalker. And that was the challenge, is like, you can't be the Luke Skywalker if you want to be successful or create a successful business. You've got to be the Yoda, and your client has to be the Luke Skywalker. Your customer has to be the Luke Skywalker, because if that's the case, and instead of being the star, you help other people to be the star, well, now they're going to relate to you. Now they're going to listen to you. So you have to make sure that you know what it is that they're chasing, right? Now, the other side of that, though, is their fears, right? Let's talk here. We can talk about fears next, because I think that this is another thing that a lot of people miss. And I'll share with you that this is probably what I would say is the easiest way to relate to customers and to relate to clients. And the reason is because most people are afraid to do this. Most people aren't what's the word I'm looking for? Aren't transparent, aren't humble, aren't self-aware enough to be able to realize that by relating with the customer through your fears, or here we could think about fears as challenges. By relating through your fears and challenges, it all of a sudden increases that bond like so much quicker. I don't know what the word is, right? But it happens so much quicker because their guard is now dropped, right? Because they now have a friend, an ally, something in common, right? The way that I would think about this is, if you think about how people and places come together after tragedies and after, huge amounts of loss, people oftentimes come together despite race and creed and whatever. And it's usually this massive amount of challenge that it bonds people together. And you'll see that happen, when someone shares a story about them, right? Like I'm now comfortable sharing this with you. It was like at a certain point last year, we got a notice on our door that said we had 3 days to pay our rent, or else we were being kicked out. The only challenge is that we were $4,000 behind, because our rent here in LA is $2,000 a month. So we were two months behind on our rent, and I believe we had like $200 in the bank account. You know what I mean? Like it was and had all this success in my direct sales business. We had done 7 figures. I was literally looking over the taxes and looking over all the money that we spent. It was like disgusting. Like we were going out and we would spend $500 a week eating out at restaurants. It was just like disgusting how much, like just silly stuff. But at the same time, right? Like I had put all that away to go and chase this, this online dream, right? And this online business where I can work from home and I can hang out with my dogs and my wife whenever I wanted to. And I didn't have to drive in 2-hour traffic here in LA every single day. And so for me, like that's what I was chasing. But all of a sudden I was starting a brand new business. I had no following. Nobody knew who I was. I had never done this digital marketing thing before. I was smart enough to be able to learn, but I hadn't figured everything out yet. And so we got this letter on our door that said we had to move out in 3 days unless we figured a way to pay things, find a way to pay off our rent. And I went to work, like that was the time where like there was no turning back. It was like it was this moment I had a chance to almost prove to myself that I could do it. And so I got to work. I started reaching out. I think, over the next several days, I generated close to like $3,500 in sales, and clients and stuff. And it was just like from that moment, it gave me the confidence that I knew that if I needed to pull something out and I needed to make a lot of money really quickly, that I could do it through online, right? I had done that in the offline world, right? I hit the phones and I was an old school salesperson. So I would just hit the phones and call until I sold enough, and I similarly did that kind of through the online world. But I guess my point in saying that is like, man, that for me was a moment that I still look back on, and it's like knowing that you have other people who are relying on you, and I'm providing for my, she was my girlfriend at the time, or my fiance at the time. I don't know. I think we were engaged. Yeah, my fiance and my dogs, and it's like, are they going to be able to live somewhere? Like, are they going to have a house, and a place to live? And not 100% at the time being confident in my abilities, right? Was a challenge, but it's like that moment gave me the confidence in my abilities to make stuff happen. So later on, when we had a wedding that cost us about $20,000, it was on a yacht, and it was an amazing night, but I wanted to pay that off in a month, and we had to take out a little loan to cover, it before the wedding, and we had our first $10,000 month right after, because I was like, I know that I can do it, and so it's about kind of digging deep, right? And like, so I'd done it before, so I knew that I could do it again. I guess was what I'm saying, and that was kind of the result of that. But in any case, I share that with you because, man, I know like how challenging it is, right? Like it's scary sometimes knowing that you're not going to, that it could potentially not work out. You know what I mean? Like that's a very scary kind of thing. And so I share that with you kind of as an example of what to do, and in a way that hopefully helps you to kind of understand my story a little bit, but also gives you the confidence that you can do this shit too. Like if you're, no matter where you're at, right, you could be $4,000 overdoing rent and $200 in your bank account and still be and be great and be fine. So don't, it's like, that's really what it is. So Nico says be the Yoda, right? Nico says be the Yoda. I love it. Alexander, thanks for the testimonial. I appreciate that, guys. If you guys want to get in the accelerator program, go to millennialskills.com/chatbot-course. All right, we got to make a easier way to get in that. All right, the last thing though, okay, that you want to relate to them with is their goals. Okay, and I kind of combine these into like what are their goals or what are their immediate objectives, right? When I think about like what are their immediate, what's the thing that they want to do like right now, right? Like desires is more about like that vision that they see for themselves, or it's more about like that self-image that they have. Whereas goals and objectives are like, what are the tangible things that they're trying to do, or what are the skills that they're trying to learn? What's the thing that's right in front of them that they're trying to master? And if you can help to see that you know what those are, then that's going to go a really long way. So Dom, Jeff, Ronnie, what's up, guys? Guys, if you guys are catching this live, let me know who's here and who's tuning in live. I would love to know where you guys are watching from. And if you guys have any questions, you guys have 5 minutes to answer those. I got to hop off with a potential client at the hour. But we talked about the first part of what you need to do to make your first dollar. So let's see. Okay, so we talked about relating, and I'm sorry if this stuff is so philosophical. I apologize. If it's too philosophical, let me know. But I feel like you can go out and get some of the other, stuff in other places. But I don't know. Let me know if this is too woo-woo for you guys, because we want to make sure that you guys are getting what you need. So we talked about getting attention, and we talked about all the different ways that you can get attention, right? And we also talked about relating to them. So being able to relate to your customers. Now, the next thing that you want to get is I'm gonna say that this is going to be called some sort of, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Some sort of engagement, right? Like you've got to get them to, let's say that better. I'm going to say then for the next part is you want them to qualify themselves. Okay. Now here's the way that you do that. Okay. You can have them qualify through opting in and subscribing, right? Through subscribing, through responding. So maybe they respond to one of your emails, right? Or to, inquiring, right? If they come to you, well, that automatically puts them in a different place. So you can get them to subscribe, get them to join your chatbot, get them to join your email list, get them to join your Facebook group. You can get them to respond. You can create a Facebook post. You can send out an email. You can send a LinkedIn message. You can create a Facebook ad, or you can make them inquire, right? You can just do a great job of creating posts, creating content, creating value that is going to get them like breadcrumbs coming back to you. So lots of different ways that you can actually qualify people, right? But these are our kind of general overarching ways that you can do that. And then after they're qualified, here now we're at the point where we can sell them something. Okay. Where we can sell. I'm going to put pitch. Now we can pitch. All right. Like a baseball player or a baseball game or a baseball team, you've got to throw the pitch in order for them to buy, right? In order for you to win the game, you've got to at least pitch. You can't stand up there with the ball in your hand, even if you've got the most amazing product and amazing service. If you never offer it to anybody, it does not matter. So here's where you can pitch them, right? You've got to ask, right? One of the biggest things that we taught our salespeople when they were brand new was what we call Abdo, asking for the order. So I'd share with you that is something that you've got to find a way to do as well. All right. So Chris, thanks for the love. Guys, if this was valuable, I'm just going to ask that you comment and you drop a comment saying helpful so that the rest of the group knows that this is, this was worth your time. And if you guys have any questions, throw those down in the comments and I'll come back and answer them later. All right. Have an amazing one. See ya.